Hey guys, Gizmodic here, and this is the Honor 9N. So starting at a price of 12,000 rupees, the 9N competes with the Zenfone Max Pro as well as the Redmi Note 5 Pro, and honestly after using all of these three phones extensively, I have to say that I'm not really that impressed with the Honor 9N. Let me explain it to you why. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. And if you'd like to see more such videos in the future, then make sure that you hit that subscribe button and you also press the bell icon so that you don't miss out on my new videos. So first I'm going to talk about the things that I like about the Honor 9N, and that starts with the design and the build quality of this phone. I think it's one of the only few phones in this price bracket that has a glass body on the back, and it does look very rich and premium. Especially in this blue shade, I think that this phone looks stunning and it's one of the best looking phones for this price. Although being a glass back, it is a fingerprint magnet, but then Honor is kind enough to give you a hard plastic case. That's not that bad and you can use that to not have fingerprints on your phone. But then still, I do think it's one of the best looking phones in this price bracket. On the front, the phone has a 5.8-inch IPS LCD display with a notch and a 19:9 aspect ratio. Since the bezels are not that huge, the phone does feel very compact and easy to use in one hand. The display quality is also good, the colors are good, the viewing angles are good, and I don't have any major complaints here. Where I do have complaints though is in terms of performance, because the Honor 9N gets a Kirin 659 CPU along with 3 or 4 gigs of RAM and the Mali T830 MP2 GPU. I tested the 4GB RAM variant and I'm honestly not that impressed with how the phone performs. While normal day-to-day usage and multitasking is not an issue, you do see minor stutters here and there in animations every once in a while. Even the gaming performance is not that great. I had to play PUBG on the lowest settings possible and it still wasn't that smooth, but Asphalt 9 did run well on the phone. I think it's more of the GPU's fault than the CPU, so if you're a heavy gamer then you should stay away from the 9N. Another reason why you should stay away from the 9N if you're a heavy gamer is the battery life on this thing. You've only got 3000 mAh of battery, which is decent at best, and it can only get you through a day if you're a medium end user. If you're going to use your phone very heavily, then you will have to put it on the charger by the late evening, and honestly this is no comparison to the 4000 or the 5000 mAh of battery that the competition gets. It also takes almost 2.5 hours to charge, so there's nothing extraordinary to note here. The camera setup is once again nothing to write home about. On the back you've got a 13+2 megapixel camera setup and the photos from it are decent at best. Upon comparing the photos with the Redmi Note 5 Pro, I found that the dynamic range was much better on the Note 5 Pro. The Honor 9N tends to oversharpen images and sometimes they are a bit too saturated as well. Photos from the 9N also have more noise in indoor conditions, and if you zoom in, the Note 5 Pro definitely holds in more details. In extremely low light scenarios, both of these phones were equally worse. On the front there's a 16 megapixel selfie camera and I would say that it's on par with the Note 5 Pro. The Note 5 Pro had better portrait effect, but then the Honor 9N I felt had slightly better colors in selfies. In terms of video, the stabilization on the Note 5 Pro is super good and the Honor 9N is no match to it. So overall it's a decent camera, but it's not something that's game changing in its segment and it's average at best. The Honor 9N as of now is running on Android 8.0 Oreo and you have Huawei's EMUI skin on top of it. I've covered EMUI features in my previous videos and it's a pretty useful feature-rich interface. You can get a lot of gestures with the fingerprint reader, like toggling the notification tray or clicking on photos. You also get app locking and app hiding features. You can also hide the notch in the display settings, and you also have this mode of switching the resolution of the phone. So let's say you are in for a long day without a charger, then you can easily switch the resolution to 720p from 1080p and that should theoretically give you more battery. Then you also have some more gestures, some navigation bar customizations and so on. It's a pretty feature rich interface and I feel it's almost on par with MIUI. What I like more on the Honor 9N as compared to the competition is the face unlock feature. I think it's faster than the Note 5 Pro or even the Asus Zenfone Max Pro, and the fingerprint sensor is very quick as well. Audio via the headphone jack was okay, call quality was good too, but this phone doesn't support dual 4G or VoLTE, which might be a deal breaker for a lot of people. Plus, considering the fact that the competition like the Realme 1, the Asus Zenfone Max Pro, as well as the Redmi Note 5 Pro get dual VoLTE, this seems to be a glaring omission on the Honor 9N. And things like these actually make me not recommend this phone. The Honor 9N is not a bad phone on its own, it's a pretty good device, but then the competition is doing better and at this price point it becomes difficult to recommend this phone. And I honestly think that it doesn't really make a lot of sense to buy the Honor 9N. So that concludes my review of the Honor 9N. I know Honor fans might be disappointed with it, but then I have said the truth and it is what it is. I don't really hate the phone, but then I don't really feel like recommending it either. Anyways, that was my video. If you guys have any more questions about the Honor 9N, then definitely let me know in the comments. As always, if you're new here, then definitely hit the red subscribe button and also press the bell icon. And if you enjoyed watching this video, then do hit that thumbs up button and let me know in the comments. If you have any more questions about the Honor 9N, then you can also send it to me on my social media pages. You can follow at Gizmodict on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram and ask your questions about the phone. Anyways, that's all for now. Thanks for watching and I'll be back in your notifications very soon. Peace.